trophy. The silver and the bronze stand on top of the podium here in Misano for one final time this year. Who knows? But what matters most from today is there he is, with his face down, crouched like a frog, crouching lion, hidden Casadei. There he is, Mattia, the world champion. How about that? Neil, have you calmed down yet since that sensational race? Well, I'll tell you what, actually, we'll talk to the guy nearly pipped him to the win. Fran Wild has actually caught already Hector Garza.
I have, sorry, I tried to get in there to make it the perfect smooth transition, but Hector, I've said last time I'll be annoying you for a while. That race one was so close. For us watching final corner, I think it was 200ths in it. What have you got in the second one?
Yeah, thank you very much. I feel really strong on the first one, but well, we did a good job. Now the championship is more or less over. We can still fight for the second and third position. I will try my best in this one, try to do the same, try to give a good spectacle and I make a good race, focus on myself, try to enjoy, and let's make the last one.
And did you learn anything from following Mattia over those last couple of laps, because you were close?
Yeah, I was wishing to pass him, but I needed one more lap.
Thanks, Hector. Best of luck.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much, Hector Garza. He now sits then 12 points off second place, and he starts on the outside of the front row of the grid. You could make an argument that that rider there on our screens, Nicholas Spinelli, was the only thing really stopping Garza from winning that race earlier on. Neil, I'll pass it back to you then. So, what did we make of the race earlier?
Yeah, it was just really impressive, wasn't it, from Mattia Casadei, showing exactly why he's been crowned the MotoE World Champion this year. After sustained last lap pressure from that man, Hector Garza, who we just heard from on the grid. Casadei stood firm and didn't put a foot wrong right the way through the 8-lap race. And surely he'll be looking to go out on a real high with another victory in this season finale, making it maybe 3 races on the trot that he can win.
One rider who did put a foot wrong, though, from the very first step in that race one, Jordi Torres, though, the number 81 jumped the start, 2 long lap penalties, and that was when his chances were pretty much done. Here's Andrea Mantovani. His chances of a race win were done earlier on as well, sadly. But let's hear from the champ himself, find out what he's got in store for us in this final race. Fran Wild is with Mattia Casadei.
Well, your trademark Zen, now you can really relax because you're already the 2023 FIM NL MotoE World Champion. Have you got more to say now? You've had a couple of hours to let it sink in and celebrate.
It's amazing. It's my dream and I'm very happy for this. Now we know very well our potential and try to finish the championship with a very good race.
And it was an almost perfect race one. Is there anything you can improve now?
Yeah, I try to improve a little bit the final 2-3 laps.
Best of luck, Mattia, and congratulations.
Thank you.
Well then, thank you very much, Fran and Mattia Casadei. Quality guy, absolutely love that. Just, I am world champion in his Park Fermi interview. Just love it. There he is then, Kev himself, the flying mustache of Manfredi, taking off in 6th on the grid. He was very close to that podium in the end. He was going for it. He was only 8/10 off the win, and he was only 6/10 off third place. I'd love to see the chops take a podium here, wouldn't you, Neil?
I would indeed, although Jordi Torres is the chops, surely he's the mustache, Manfredi.
No, yeah, but he's also got chops, whereas Jordi is the pork chops. Slight difference.
I see.
I'm amazed that you've waited until the final broadcast of the season to really cement this nickname either way.
Yeah, just all out there. You know, what else can you do? What about Kevin Zanoni, though, as well? He was just behind Manfredi. He was a few hundredths behind him. He could be another shout too. It was really such a strong race for all the Italians. I'm just relaxed now as well, but I can't wait for this awesome outing.
Yeah, it was just over 1 second that covered the top 6 at the end of 8 laps of racing in race 1, and I really don't see why we can't have a repeat of that, to be honest, because the shackles are kind of off Mattia Casadei, and as well for his teammate Nicholas Spinelli, who was doing a great defensive action for his teammate for the majority of race one, trying to stave off Hector Garzo's advances. So yeah, I think with Spinelli freed up and Casadei kind of riding pressure free, maybe we can have another similar all-action fight towards the front.
Well then, we are awaiting the final countdown then, the rundown of the grid and going racing here in Misano. I would love to see a Spinelli win. Perhaps he was pretty miffed in Parc Fermé, having missed out on the victory, I should say. And also that second place from Garzo. Gonna be a big one. We have 8 laps coming right up. The final one of MotoE, don't go anywhere. It's gonna be fireworks. Let's get it going for one more time. Here is the grid. Mattia Casadei, Nicholas Spinelli and Hector Garzo are row 1. Mantovani, row 2. Big JT in 5th, ahead of the Flying Mustache, Kevin Manfredi. Then Zanoni, Zaccone and Pons are row 3. Ferrari once again take it off from 10th position, ahead of Granado and the Cruminator. Then we have Rabat, Perez, Akubo, Vinello, Herrera and Andrea Mino. Big Mig himself with prayer card down his leathers, taken off for the back row of the grid. A couple of fallers we had in race 1 earlier on. Hopefully everybody keeps it upright for this final race and go home without scuffed leathers and everything else. Now is the time for putting a plan into action. Visors going down. It is very, very hot up there. Any last-minute predictions, Neil?
Yes, I think this man, Nicholas Spinelli, might throw the cat among the pigeons and yeah, win his first MotoE race in this encounter.
What about you, Fran? You with us?
I quite like that shout, especially now. He doesn't need to not care about his teammate, but the concern level is slightly lower now, can get those elbows out. Remember as well, we didn't see what Mantovani really had in the first one, so that could be an interesting one to watch as well.
My money, I would say, is on Hector Garzo. He had his best MotoE race yet last time out, missing out on a victory, a second one by 200ths of a second. That's all he's got to improve on, essentially. I would love to see him get that as we close out this year. Eyes closed, a bit of visualization for Mantovani, the number 9. We are getting ready. 5 seconds till 1 minute to go. Tyre warmers off, umbrellas down. Everybody other than the riders off the grid, please. It's race time in MotoE. Ferrari then, he had a pretty good run out in the end. 6th place, and come the checkered flag, he was 1 second off the win despite starting from that 10th place following that penalty yesterday. Don't forget, he is a 6-time winner round here. Casadei now with the pressure off his shoulders, could be even stronger, so he should wish. 30 seconds to go. The red flag waves at the front of the grid. No revs up. Hopefully no jump starts this time. Looking at you, JT. MotoE getting ready for a start. This is it. The lights come on. And they're off. We go for the final time. It's a great start for the champion, Mattia Casadei. You've got Hector Garzo, a much better start this time around. Jordi Torres does not jump the start. Mantovani around the outside of Garzo. He tries, but Garzo chops his nose off right in front. Spinelli out into the lead, up the inside of his teammate Casadei then. On the run towards turn 4. Casadei holds the inside line. He goes back into the lead. The champion is out front.
Absolutely, and Jordi Torres just underneath Mantovani to go 4th at turn 4. Impressive stuff. And then we have the 2 sick 58 boys. In fact, sorry, we don't. We just have one of them. It's Kevin Zanoni with the Kel Pons in 7th.
Jordi Torres back in 4th place. Mantovani just behind him then, all cleanly through and away. We saw Rabat go down at turn 6 on lap 1 earlier on. He kept it upright. That's Pons up the inside of Manfredi, I think, or was it Zanoni? It was Zanoni, but he takes it back anyway into that position 6. Casadei still leads them through in towards turn 10.
Yeah, a fairly subdued start from Matteo Ferrari, who hasn't managed to make any progress from 10th on the grid. We saw that in race 1. It took him a few laps to get going. Ferrari still in 10th.
Here we go, through Curvone for the first time then, and look at that, just Spinelli looking up the inside of his teammate. He thinks better of it. That's a brave move, particularly on the guy at the other side of the pit box. Very impressive, an attempt from Spinelli, but that'll be it for overtaking attempts this time around. They'll cross the line, it will be the champion leading the way. 40 from 29, and then you have the number 4, 81 and 9 will be your top 5 coming across the line for the first time around.
Yeah, Matteo Ferrari's actually lost another position to Eric Granado, so it's been a difficult first lap for the number 11. You can see Tito Rabat has managed to stay on the first lap this time around, but already I think we've got a lead group of 7 just separating themselves from the rest of the pack.
Very, very steadily through that turn 1, turn 2 complex. There's a bit of daylight between both Casadei and Spinelli, and then a few more bike lengths back to the number 4 of Garza. He was all squirrely under braking into turn 4 then. Cleanly through though, turn 5. Torres looking a bit impatient as we come through 6 and onto the back straight.
Yep, absolutely. Mr. Garza needs to be sure that he doesn't lose too much ground here, because he proved in race 1 that no one was faster at the end of that 8-lap stint. But Torres is making movements, looking as though he's trying to get by the number 4 for third position. As it stands, the 2 Pons boys just eking away from the rest of the pack. Spinelli now has had the second in hand over Garza back in third.
Looked like Torres was potentially making a move up the inside of Garza, and I think he might have managed it, but Garza looks hidden by Spinelli as we look back from the rear view camera of Casadei. Spinelli going to look through the inside again to come to Curvone. No, Garza still holds third place quite firmly. Mantovani now taking a peek at the inside of Jordi Torres as well. No daring overtakes this time round, even with Mantovani getting a bit out of shape down there in towards turn 14.
Spinelli does look really strong through Curvone, just about stopped short from diving under his teammate on the exit of there into turn 12. Maybe he's practicing a little manoeuvre that he could make further down in the race, but we're across the line. Casadei just the fastest lap of the race, 140.743. And that's 1/10 of a second faster than the men in second and in third.
Yes, that's a similar time. Oh, there's a big crash in the background there. We saw sparks flying and riders going off into the gravel trap. Not sure who that was, but that was a fast crash indeed at turn 2. It's Manfredi and Granado. Oh, dearie me, what a way for them two to end their season. Both up and okay, fortunately, but that's a big shame for the Flying Mustache and the Brazilian hero.
Yeah, it really is. Eric Granado was just about in the title hunt after the first race in Austria, and he just tries to make a move.
Oh, he went for it. Oh, dearie me.
And takes Manfredi down. Well, Eric will, I'm sure, be apologising. Throws his hands out in frustration, and what a disappointing end it's been to a luckless season, you have to say, for Eric Granado.
Yes, a real one of misfortune this time around. I would say Eric's been far more controlled himself, generally speaking, but outside factors hampering what could have been for him, you could say, this year. There we have Garza, though, looking strong in third position, 4/10 off the top 2 riders. He's got a couple of bike lengths between him and Torres, and he's catching back up to the leading duo, in fact, who are just comfortably leading the way, I would say. Spinelli learning all he can from his champion teammate. Will we see him make a daring move up the inside? He's more than capable of biding his time. Still 5 laps to go as they come across the finish line this time around.
Garza was so strong in the third sector off the track. That's the second lap in a row that he's managed to gain 3/10 on the lead pair through the third sector, and you can see he's just set the fastest lap of the race, 2/10 quicker that time around. And Matteo Casadei and Garza, well, he is coming.
Well, incident involving Granado and Manfredi to be reviewed after the race. We see Spinelli takes a big look up the inside of Casadei, but thinks better of it. Granado's rejoined, that's why there's pebbles on the track around there then. Testament, as Fran pointed out in qualifying yesterday, that these MotoE bikes, the Ducatis, are very, very tough indeed, aren't they? I mean, you can crash them, remount them, carry on. I mean, look at the barely any damage there as we see Spinelli getting very close to the rear wheel of his teammate in towards turn 8. Here we are in towards 9 and 10. Will there be a move from the 29? He's looking impatient behind his teammate, isn't he?
Yeah, and he has good reason to feel a little impatient as well. Hector Garza obviously honing in on his rear. I think once we get down to turn 14 after this series of right-handers, the number 4 will be within range. We need to have a look at overtaking. Garza is so good. You can see Kevin Manfredi is also rejoined at the back of the pack. Manfredi comes across the line in 18th place.
Oh,
so
and look,
Garza
wow, yes, because Casadei, what's happened with Casadei then? What went wrong there? Something clearly, because he's lost 2 places all in one then. So the champ, a rare mistake. I mean, hell of a time to do it now that he's actually won the championship. But yeah, let's see what happens with that. Let's see, let's go. What happened here then?
So Spinelli did actually make a move then coming into turn 12, and that just put him offline. Garza barges through.
Wow, clean.
And well, 2 moves pretty much within the blink of an eye. Another fastest lap then for Hector Garza. That's another 1/10 of a second he's managed to gain back on Nicholas Spinelli. Garza is very much the coming force in this race.
Yeah, a 1:40.6 is quicker than the pole position time that we saw yesterday then. So Garza's certainly in the mood, but he's got another very hungry rider ahead of him as well, also looking for, I would say, the first time finishing first with the checkered flag out, because Garza got that victory under red flag conditions back in Germany. He's a very hungry young lad, but as is Jordi Torres, wanting to finish the year on a high. Another podium or win bonus would do him very nicely indeed, this being the only championship that he races in now.
Yeah, absolutely. Matteo Ferrari is managing to gain a little bit in this middle part of the race, but you can see there it's not really going to be enough to rescue second in the championship from Torres. There he is, the number 11. He has managed to get past Mikel Pons up into 7th, so it's going to be another late charge for Matteo Ferrari, but it looks as though 7th is probably going to be his limit because he's quite some way off. Kevin Zanoni in 6th.
3 1/3 laps to go then. Coming into the final turn, Spinelli's got a bit of a wide line there. Garza looked tempted to send it out the inside there. I'm sure he will be happily sitting behind him for now, but eyeing him up for a move to clinch victory. As the clock ticks down then through the final corner. 29 leads from number 4, Italy versus Spain. Then it's another Italian versus Spanish battle going on behind them. Then we've got Mantovani still upright. Garza, he's looking for it. He's having to think about it. He thought about it big style, but Spinelli, as tough as you like through turn 2. We saw it go wrong between Granado and Manfredi. They won't have seen that, but that could have been pretty troublesome indeed.
Absolutely. But Garza, though, he is in a rush to get by. He does feel that his speed is quicker. He was another 1/10 of a second faster than Spinelli on that last lap, and you can see the Casadei just struggling to keep within range of the lead duo. Now 3/10 of a second between 2nd and 3rd. Garza has another look as they break down in towards Quercia, but you have to imagine it's through those long rights at the end of the back straight where the number 4 has been particularly strong right the way through the day. And it feels like only a matter of time before Garza hits the front, to be honest.
Well then, he's got to line up his exit here at turn 10 then. Here we go, not up through the gears, just full torque as we come towards Curvone. Keep an eye on Ferrari then, another track limits warning for him. This, as you rightly said, Neil, that does look like his limit there is quite a way to the 21 of Zanone in front here.
Yeah, absolutely. It was 1.2 seconds when he got by into 7th. It's now down to a second, but I think once again Matteo Ferrari is just to give himself a bit too much to do. Fine margins, of course. He was on pole position yesterday until he was his fastest lap was taken off him because he was under the minimum tyre pressure in Q2. And starting back in 10th has really cost him. There's Mikel Pons having a real moment out of the final turn. That means that he's going to drop back from 8th position behind Tito Rabat. And Mantovani has got by Torres.
Yes, he certainly has. That's a great performance from Mantovani then, battling it out with the former double MotoE World Cup winner. As Granado's got a long lap penalty for irresponsible riding. Not that that'll make much difference to his race antics, but good they've been dishing out a penalty for an infraction. So
yeah, absolutely. I wonder if Casadei is still in this. 3/10 of a second then between Garza in 2nd, Casadei in 3rd. He did tell Fran on the grid that he wanted to basically work on his pace in the final laps of the race. That's where he felt it was lacking ever so slightly in race 1. But considering the strength of Spinelli and Garzo, it is hard to see the number 40 getting back into this victory fight. I think it's a two-way shootout, Matt, for the win.
Certainly looks like Spinelli has got his defence mode on through turns 9 and 10 then. But that could lead to Garzo having a great run through Carbone. He looks on the inside towards turn 12, thinks about it, thinks better of it. But this looks like the race is on then. This is the second to last lap. We'll be starting the final one in just a matter of corners. This is all for pride. We have the 29 versus the number 4. They're going to lay it all out there here at Misano for one last time, MotoE in 2023. This is some of the most exciting racing you can see anywhere in the world. The best electric fights possible. 29 versus 4, turn 1, here we go. The duel is on, and the number 4 is there. He takes the lead momentarily from 29. Garzo with one victory so far. He won it through a red flag. He wants to see that checkered flag. He wants those finished photos of him triumphant. Here we go through turn 4.
Absolutely, and as you can see, the team's championship is still open going into the final race, but it looks as though Pons are going to ramp that up because their riders are...
Whoa, look at that for a move. Look at that. Whoa, goodness me. Neck and neck down the back straight. This is racing at its best, and it's put Casadei back into contention too. Look at him into the lead, Neil.
Casadei 2-1 down into Quercia, and Garzo isn't finished here. You can see on the inside of Spinelli trying to push the Italian a little bit wide, but Spinelli's going to have the inside.
It is all out. Go on, Spinelli. That was a move and a half. This is a grudge match. You're basically watching UFC on 2 wheels.
Yeah, sensational stuff from Casadei. Very opportunistic, but that is a brilliant pass. But here comes Spinelli into Carbone.
Look at that. That is as fast as it possibly gets. 3 riders, nearly 3 abreast. It's going all the way down to the wire, ladies and gents. Don't miss a single bit, MotoE at its very best. Casadei goes for it again. Oh, goodness me. Is that overtaken opportunities done? It could well be. It's the 29 leading him through the penultimate corner. He's got a couple of bike lengths. I think this is it. Unless Garzo gets the run of his life through the final turn. The checkered flag is out, and it looks like it'll be 29 leads and wins from the number 4. Casadei on the podium. And that's what we love about MotoE, everybody. Welcome to the show. And the star is Nicholas Spinelli.
What a performance that was from Spinelli on that final lap. He really had to fight for that one. And, well, anyone that secures a race victory thanks to an overtake at Carbone, one of the fastest turns on the calendar, well, I doff my hat to that very person. And Spinelli, well, I don't think his bravery was ever in any doubt throughout this season, Matt. One of the kind of wilder riders. He's pulled off some great last lap overtakes when he secured podium so far this year, but none quite as spectacular as that. Spinelli has arrived as MotoE force.
That was brilliant. MotoE and motorcycle racing at its best. Just a high-speed game of chess, reaching its crescendo on that final lap. It's all out there on the track, nothing left behind. It's all out there, and you can see it in the feeling of defeat, unfortunately, that Garzo will have from that. He missed out on another win, ultimately by 0.2 of a second, 0.196. Wowee.
Yeah, amazing. And for a little time, Mattia Casadei might have thought that all of his birthdays and Christmases had come at once, because he went from 3rd to 1st down at Quercia on that final lap, taking advantage of the scrapping just ahead. But, well, he didn't have any answer for Spinelli or Garzo in those fast rides at the end of the lap. And he can reflect on what has been a brilliant day, a 1st and a 3rd, and of course, MotoE World Championship debut. Here was the first of the many moves on the final lap. This was Garzo on Spinelli down into turn 1, and little were we to know then that this was the first of many moves.
Look at the distance between them and Casadei then. Where did he make up that time? Because I certainly, in the heat of the moment, I didn't notice it, because then all of a sudden, coming into turn 8, there is Casadei. 2 for 1. Thank you very much, chaps. I'll have some of that.
Garzo has 2nd here, but then Spinelli into turn 9, takes second back. And here is the piste de resistance into Curvoni. What a move that is to secure your maiden race win in the MotoE World Championship. Nicholas Spinelli, take a bow. That was sensational.
There it is. The checkered flag is out, and he's done it.
Absolutely, at 1.4 seconds. Look at that, covering 7 riders at the checkered flag. Once again, MotoE delivering in spades with all sorts of drama. Andrea Mantovani, he lost 4th place because he exceeded track limits on that final lap, which means that Jordi Torres has jumped up into 4th. Mantovani coming home in 5th.
Well, I hope you've all enjoyed it. Everybody out there watching, thank you for being with us all year long. It really has delivered some of the best racing that you could ever ask for, and I know some people out there don't like electric bikes, no sound, etc. But why do we love motorcycle racing? For tension like that, overtakes like that, race finishes like that. And that is what MotoE is all about. Hector Garzo, another star of today, lobbing his gloves into the grandstand. This may not be a home race for him, but he is certainly one of the heroes of MotoE.
Yeah, 6th podium of the year for Hector Garzo. That sees him finish 4th in the championship, just agonisingly. If he had won that race, Matt, he would have finished 2nd. Just 2 points separated him from Jordi Torres, and Matteo Ferrari sandwiched in the middle in 3rd, just a point either side of both of them. So close as you like in the fight for 2nd in the championship.
Yeah, brilliant stuff. What a great cool-down lap this is as well from Casadei, the Italian flag. Plenty of people out there cheering for him still. Spinelli's done a burnout. He's really smoking up the joint there, isn't he, Spinelli?
Smoking up the joint, I hope
not. All right! Oh, dearie me. Been waiting all year to say something like that, mate. All year.
Well, one of the things, Matt, about this new Ducati era of MotoE racing, a lot of the riders saying how friendly the bike is, how easy it is to get on it and to go fast. And I think that's reflected in the fact that we've had 8 different victors in 2023. We've had 8 rounds, 16 races, and 8 different victors from those 16. Krummenacher, Garzo, Mantovani, Ferrari, Casadei, Granado, Torres, and now Nicholas Spinelli joins that group. So all in all, you have to say, a fantastic first season for Ducati in the MotoE World Championship. Once again, the racing just consistently delivers.
Absolutely quality. Yeah, just really out of phrases to describe it all.
Say the rear tyre is 56% sustainable material this year, but I think most of that is now floating down pit lane.
Is it still made up of lemon and orange peel as well?
There's plenty in there, indeed, yes, and it smells a little bit different to the Grand Prix class burnouts.
Citrusy, I imagine.
Fresh.
Yeah. Mary Berry's thinking she could put one of those in the pastry. Tart or something.
In a bottle, some perfume.
Maybe. Might work well with a side of gin. Why not? Well then, so the party's going to be starting in MotoE. Of course, no racing there for tomorrow, even though it's race day. I wonder how many will be sticking around and just enjoying the sights and sounds of MotoGP race day tomorrow. Here is the chap, though, with Fran Wild down in Parfumé.
Well, Mattia, at one point there, it looked like you had them both in one, but not quite. Still rounding out an incredible season with the podium.
Yeah, incredible season, world champion. I'm very happy for the victory of Nico, because he's a very fast guy, and I do a very good race. I'm very happy. Ciao tutti.
Congrats.
He's a man of few words, Mattia Casadei.
I am world champion, and I am very happy. His takeaway statements from his Parc Fermé interviews today with Fran.
Gosh.
And why bother with words when you can be world champion, I say, Matt?
Hey, will I say he leaves the talking on the track. But what about Garzo? How does he feel about that second place?
Well, Hector, we see the smile despite just missing out on that win. Still, a great season for you, a double podium here at the final round. After a few tougher ones in the middle of the year, you must be happy with that.
Yeah, for sure. Thank you very much, guys. I feel really good since the first day here in Misano. It is a track that I like so much. I was focusing on don't touch too much the setting because, well, this year we just adjust few things in each circuit. So I'm happy. These Italians are so fast here. I tried my best in both races, but well, I'm happy with the work, happy with the end of the season, fighting until the end, and well, thanks to the team, sponsors, and everybody. Thank you.
Congrats, Hector.
You're welcome, Hector. No worries, man. Good job indeed. And another absolutely cracking race from the Valencian. A lot of time for him. He really gives it all he can. But Spinelli, though, there he is, P1. After smoking up the joint, here he is, Big Nick. P1 with Fran.
Well, Nicholas, finally you've taken that top step, that first MotoE victory on home turf here at Misano. How does it feel?
Yeah, I'm very, very happy for this, my fifth win in MotoE. And this is incredible because I work a lot with my team, and step by step I have done these results. And thanks to my team, thanks to all.
Thanks, Nicola. Congrats.
Super stuff then from Nicholas Spinelli, who climbs to 6th in the championship as a result of his performances today, which you have to say, as a rookie, this year is a really impressive performance. Just want to say a big thanks to Fran Wild for all her hard work this year down in pit lane and in Parc Fermé, bringing us all the scoops and the insights.
And
Fran?
thank you very much to you guys too. It has been a pleasure. I hope everyone has enjoyed this adventure and historic first ever World Championship for MotoE this season.
Hell yeah, and thank you especially for Fran, for making sure we get in all the correct corporate lines for this. You know how hopeless Neil and I can be. So, Fran, the absolute expert in all of that. From Prima Vittoria.
One of the coolest things today, man. Andrea Migno scoring 2 points for 14th.
Oh, what the Big Mig, he's done it. Quality lad.
Yeah, he got called up just on, Thursday night, I think, by Gino Borsoi from the Pramac team. Lucas Salvadori was going to try and ride this weekend, but wasn't quite fit enough after injuring his back a few weeks ago. Migno really up against it, no time whatsoever to get up to speed on these bikes. Fighting against a host of names that have been riding all season long in this category, and 2 points to his name in the final race of the season, taken by Andrea Migno.
Yeah, really well done, Big Mig then. So a couple of points to round out his season in one time of asking. I would say he must be happy with that. All riders finished that race as well, even with Granado and Manfredi sending it into the gravel at turn 2. Brilliant, brilliant stuff. Well done. So, final podium time as the sun is setting here in Misano. Well, very steadily. It's still quite a few more hours of daylight, but it does look quite low there, doesn't it, on the podium?
Yeah, and some beautifully bland Italian deep house playing out around the circuit as these guys no doubt make their way up to the podium.
Well then, they're taking their fair time, a bit like lads. Oh, I know why. They have to get in a lift. A lift to go up to the podium. Ah, yeah. It does take a while. And of course, we've got no camera in there with them, so how would you know? You're just sort of waiting there, watching an empty podium, but that's the way it goes sometimes. The announcer's there, he loves it, refuses to shut the door to his commentary booth when in the media centre, much to the frustration of many journalists and people, but he's insistent.
And he's
passionate.
doing every single class, MotoE, Red Bull rookies, and in the 3 Grand Prix categories.
Fair play. I mean, if esports was on the actual track as well, he'd be doing that too. I mean, the guy's a grafter. So you do it, mate. Crack on. Casadei onto the podium then. How many podiums is that so far this year for, well, to end the year with Casadei? 10. Blimey, massive quick combine.
From 18 audience, impressive stuff from Casadei, impressive stuff from Hector Garzo as well. 4th in the World Championship. That equals his best showing in the MotoE season. And Nicholas Spinelli then, the 8th different winner to emerge victorious from a MotoE World Championship race in 2023. Great day for the Pons team, who also incidentally managed to secure the team's championship just ahead of Intact GP. So good work from the Cedo Pons' team championship and the Riders' Championship in 2023.
Garzo, another trophy for him. Well done, that man there. And now we've got the winner's trophy. Hi, Mum, says the NLX Way fella. The winner's trophy goes to Spinelli. He cracks a smile, finally. There he is, cheering on the podium. Now then, for one last time, it's the national anthem of Italy.
L'inno di Monelli.
Whoa, now it's time for the Prosecco! Way, get it sprayed. Good job, Hector.